Dear colleagues, so I'd like to talk about typical cases of tendon transfers, and I'd like to discuss elbow extension and thumb CMC fusion and my thoughts. So this lady has a C5 fracture and flexors, elbow flexors and brachioradialis present, but no wrist elbow extension and no wrist extension on the right side and weak wrist extension on the left side. So this patient was categorized as a international classification group 1, only presence of brachioradialis. So I planned the single stage reconstruction for the stronger side, left side, elbow extension and passive key grip reconstruction. So biceps to triceps, brachioradialis to ECRB, FPL tenodesis, and some CMC fusion and split FPL to EPL transfer for some IP joint stabilization, and index finger lasso procedure. And this is a photo. So after the reconstruction, she can now extend the elbow, although it's a weak. And she can do some, key pinch. So she says, now I can eat an apple using a fork and wipe my eyes with the tissue. So the surgery was helpful for her. Another patient is a stronger patient, C5-6 injury, but more muscles remaining. So he had a stronger elbow extension, elbow flexion, but no elbow extension. And supination and pronation was possible but weak. And wrist extension was strong, and there was no finger flexion and wrist flexion motion. So this patient was categorized as a group 3 with remaining brachioradialis, ECRM, ECRB. So I planned the staged reconstruction. First stage, extensor phase, biceps to triceps, some CMC fusion, EDC, EPL tenodesis, split FPL to EPL, and house intrinsic reconstruction. And second stage, flexor phase, ECRL to FTP, brachioradialis to FPL, and Giancoli lasso. So these are procedures. So you see that after EDC tenodesis with gravity wrist flexion, that the MP joint extends, and with the EPL tenodesis, some opens, and with the intrinsic reconstruction, with MP joint extension, the PIP joint is passively extended. And the second stage flexor phase, ECRL to FTP and brachioradialis to FPL. And especially I'd like to reconstruct the flexor as a reverse cascade so that the index finger flexes more for the key pinch. And post elbow extension is very good because he has many muscles, so usually the function is better. And you see the wheelchair manipulation. Before surgery, he used the elbow, rocking, and shoulder muscles, but now he can control the wheelchair. And he see the fine key pinch, and he shows a strong pinch strength, even 7.5 kilogram. And he says that now I can easily control my wheelchair, which helps a lot with playing basketball. I can even go up the slope. My friends are interested in getting this surgery, but are hesitant because they feel it takes too long. So the first discussion is nerve transfer comparable to tendon transfer in terms of elbow in elbow extension. So we can use axillary nerve posterior branch or teres minus branch to radial nerve triceps branch for elbow extension. But when you see the literature, the the obtaining M4 grade is only possible in half of the patients, and obtaining M3 is even not even impossible, not 100%. 29 per 36 patients. So I think that the outcomes of nerve transfer are inferior to tendon transfer in terms of elbow extension. It's my thought. And the next case is similar to the case 3. So he has a strong elbow flexion and strong wrist extension, but no wrist and finger flexion. So similarly, he was categorized as group 3. So I did the similar extensor phase surgery, but I did not fuse the thumb because the thumb position was already in Kim-Pitch position. And then for the flexor phase, I did not do Jankari lasso because the index was already flexed position. So you see the preoperative thumb position in the right side. Yeah, that he can touch the thumb to the index finger. So CMC fusion was not necessary. And after surgery, he's happy with the elbow extension and thumb using the key pinch. And the next case, C4 fracture. So he has he's not doing well with the elbow muscles. Flexor is also weak, and brachioradial is a little bit weak, but he wished to get a surgery, so we proceeded to single stage reconstruction, elbow extension and passive key grip reconstruction, and similar procedures. And 2 months later, he was satisfied with the active elbow extension and control, but wrist extension was not so strong for passive key pinch. And for the thumb position, it's fixed. So he could not touch the mobile phone. So he said that, I want to return my thumb to its pre-surgery position. But on the other side, he said that I only want the elbow extension and brachioradialis to ECRB for wrist control. So I think surgery was a failure for me and for him. A little bit was helpful for elbow extension. So do we need to fuse the thumb in every cases? So let's revisit the case 2. So on the left side, I fused the thumb, so he showed a 7.5 kilogram strength in pinch strength. But on the right side, I did not fuse the thumb because the thumb position was preoperatively possible to touch the index finger. So after 2 years, you see the left side that the opening is not so good, but power is better. But on the right side, opening is better, but the strength is inferior to right side. So he said that since the surgery, I've been doing many things on my own, such as brushing my teeth and getting dressed. I can perform CIC independently with my right hand. However, my pinch strength is weaker on the right side. When I need a strong grip, I have to use my left hand. So CIC, I think it's very important to increase the longevity of the patient because patients get a lot of urinary tract infections, so we can even increase their lifespan. So he shows how he used the finger. I hold my phone with my left hand and use my right thumb to tap. He does like that. And he shows how his friends with the weaker thumb do handful touching with the dorsum of the third finger. So he says that I think that not fixing the thumb on the right side was a good decision for him. So there's a paper about this issue. So they compared the patients with CMC arthrodesis and without arthrodesis. They found that the key pinch strength, key grip reconstruction does not open as far when grasping large objects in CMC fusion. And for passive key pinch, CMC arthrodesis significantly limits passive opening with no gain in strength. So when it's possible not to fuse the thumb, I think it's better not to fuse the thumb. So are there other options for CMC stabilization? Yes, there's Moberg used the tenodesis of APL to the ulnar side of the radius to increase its oppositional effect. And Dr. Aliyu suggests the EPB opponentsplasty. So EPB was fixed to FCR. So EPL tenodesis is activated at wrist extension to place thumb in front of the plane of the palm. Then my thought is that for better rotation, change the distal insertion to more orally would make a more rotation of the thumb. So my thoughts from experience in Korean patients, strong elbow extension is very important. It's very highly beneficial for future control and enhances the potential for sports participation. Because tetraplegia and sports are closely related. Many of them have athletic backgrounds. They injure during the sports. And outcomes of tendon transfer are generally more reliable and stronger compared to nerve transfer. And CMC fusion may not be well suited for younger individuals who use smartphone extensively. So each patient is unique with his or her own remaining physical abilities, wishes, and expectations. Thank you very much.